Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Everyday Psychic Radio. This show features healing and guidance and readings for everyday people just like you to find your way to your highest self and living your best life. Featuring Psychic Jennie McDaniel and your host, Drew Pillow. That's right. Keep that applause going. It's 2020. Keep clapping. We're going to clap till it's 2025. This show's over. Thanks for calling in. See ya. Anyway, hey, Happy New Year. It's Mandy. It's Mandy. Yeah. So today on our cool show, we do have Jennie McDaniel, our usual resident wonderful person, and myself, Drew Pillow, the host. And today, as we rotate through our special guest lineup, this week we're going to be in for a special treat because we're joined by the one and only Mandy Elam, aka Alchemy Sister, aka a whole bunch of other stuff. Tell us about you, Mandy, for the listeners that don't already know.
I am Mandy Elam. I am honored to be here as always with my friends Jennie and Drew here on Heart Over Ego. And
Boom.
Yeah, I am an intuitive, spiritual teacher, and a women's empowerment coach. And I do lots of one-on-one sessions with people, helping them to kind of overcome their shadows or find purpose, clear like some traumas, things like that. And I like to host podcasts with you guys and enjoy being out in the community.
That's right. You're part of the driving force that kind of revitalized this network, transforming it, making it heart over ego as it expands into new horizons with Third Eye Political Radio. We'll let Jennie talk about that a little bit. And Jennie, introduce yourself for the listeners who don't already know.
I'm Jennie McDaniel, and I'm a psychic energy worker, massage therapist. I like to take you to parallel existences so we can heal emotional issues that may have occurred in past or parallel lives. And our new network is Third Eye Political Radio. We launched today. It's our first show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. So if you want a different take on politics, the topic will be war, and we will have the lines open so you can call in and tell us how you feel. Other than that, it's kind of manifesting as we speak, so we'll know more next week. But on Tuesday, we have a brand new show also launching, and that's Downward Dogma with my friends Sarah and Tasha, and we're just going to shine some bright lights on dogma and stagnant energy in the two-party system. So join us. You can find us on Facebook, you can find us there too, Heart Over Ego Radio, but you can also find us at Third Eye Political Radio.
Yeah. And it's not your everyday, CNN, Fox News. It's not that kind of, and no, it's not that. Mm-hmm. It's not that. It's like you and your smart friends sitting around telling it like it really is, except we're smarter. But anyway, and also
have smaller egos for sure.
Yeah, some of us. Yeah, and Jennie is also a driving force behind this network and the new network, the Big Hat. We're gonna call Jennie the Big Hat. The Big Hat with the small ego. See, and and I'm Drew Pillow. I'm I'm also a and I specialize in you see.
So the gentleman talking is Drew Pillow, and he's the original driving force behind all of this. Jennie and I would have a podcast in the works if it wasn't for him. He created the original Drew Pillow. Was it Drew Pillow Radio? DPR, right?
Yeah.
And
how
it was
crazy.
Wonderful and amazing, and listening to all his. I wasn't a part of it in the beginning, but I got to listen to a lot of his old episodes, and you're incredible. Not only that, Drew is a healer and a teacher, and he doesn't always like to admit it or honor his own skills, but he's a really good reader. He reads actual regular playing cards, very old school style, and he's amazing at it. So don't let him fool you.
I'm a player. I got my playing cards.
Last but not least, a brilliant emerging author and writer too.
OMG, OMG. This show's over. Thank you for calling in. But anyway, so what our show's about today, thanks, Mandy, I appreciate that. Our show today is Everyday Psychic Radio, and this is a podcast we put together to share information, to correct the misinformation. Some people have misconceptions about what psychics and mediums and healers and readers, what people do. You watch too much TV, and TV is misinforming you. So we give you an opportunity to hear correct information from people who are talented in these modalities, and also to get your own experience, because it's nothing like experiencing it for yourself to say, hey, you know what? I like that. That resonated with me. That is cool. So you can spread the word so we can continue to awaken to what's really going on out here. Why do they tell us, how is it? I want to start this off with a question, and we're going to open up the phone lines to let you callers get through to connect and have your own free reading and get your questions or comments out there as we do. But I want to start the show off with this question. Why is it that I grew up thinking that psychics wore turbans around their head, looked in the crystal ball, charged you a lot of money, and was not really, either wasn't real or it was something from the devil? Did you guys was I the only one that kind of watched that TV show growing up?
I think that, imagery is so powerful, as you just spoke of it. There's an image with the turban and the crystal ball, and we've probably seen it in magazines. And I think that it's a derogatory image simply because it's such a small image. So, and it doesn't really cover, and it's usually, like that one, is placed out there in fear. So I think that a lot of that fear that people have around the uncertainty of psychics, or that they're the devil, is the handiwork of religion. And it's been doing it for millennia. So it's really, really, really good at pushing that fear. And they probably use imagery like, a tarot card reader with some demons behind her while she does her work, just to make it seem and to hit it home that this is a negative thing. Because just like the U.S. government, if the religion sees that it's losing its grasp with our awareness and knowledge, it's going to be hell-bent to keep its control by putting fear in there. Again, it's its oldest tactic. The U.S. government does the same thing, puts fear-based realities around everything. You can see it with the escalation of the war that's potentially on the verge. And I did some deep reading to get past the media awareness, and it looks like we're not on the verge of World War III. We are, however, doing fighting actions and words with Iran. So very interesting. I'll be interested to see how we change the dynamics and the views of psychics in the future.
It's really cool that you brought that up, because I've been reflecting upon that recently. I was remembering 2 years ago, I was kind of up in my room and I never watched TV, and randomly my mom came up. She's like, yo, you got to turn on CNN. I'm like, okay. And it's Oprah and Vance Jones and a couple of other people who are talking about how the mystic and the healer are rising and how we're going to be looking at things very differently. And it was super taboo and super different, and it was this different late night show, and it was really cool, and I thought about that. And I've been thinking about that a lot recently, and I watched the people's faces, and they were really scared in the audience. What are they talking about? What is going on? And it's a lot of what you were just talking about, Drew. It's our conditioning and what we've been taught to believe and the images we've seen. Not only that, but the Bible literally says, do not listen to fortune tellers or go to fortune tellers. I think it uses the word fortune teller, but it talks about maybe psychics, mediums, things like that, saying that they're bad, and the only thing we have it to compare it to is what we're actually shown and seen, on everyday media. And that's why I think people think of it the way they do. But what's happening with religion and dogma and all these different belief systems is they're starting to crumble, because as society changes, we're realizing oh, you know what? I did get divorced and I didn't, go to hell yet. And there's so many different things going on. People are looking for more of a spiritual aspect, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're waking up. Waking up is becoming a little more mainstream, I think, because we know, it doesn't make you weird to say, you know what, I had a gut feeling that was going to happen. So it's like it's kind of becoming mainstream to be able to honor our intuition and things like that. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Absolutely. I always found it interesting that it says stay away from fortune tellers in the Bible because the Bible was channeled by prophets and fortune tellers. Jesus himself was psychic. So I just find the irony just impressive. It's just it's just so impressive. I don't even get mad at it anymore. I'm just amazed at it.
Yeah, and even science is lending. Science is assisting in the awakening process because we know that we know that an aura is a real thing. We know that we have an energy body and that we are energy. And so when we talk about your chakras, chakras are, I don't know the terminology specifically, but how do chakras, how does that relate to our energy body, energy systems? If I can just get that out of the way.
You want to take that one?
I was going to pass it to you. You're the energy expert.
Cool. I'll go ahead, and then you can add some more beautiful information. The chakras are energy pools, and they're not physical, so it's not like an organ in your body. It's an energy pool, and it's represented by color and circles and location. So the top of the head is the crown chakra. It's associated with the color white and purple. It's a circle on top of your head. Again, there's not a purple circle underneath your skull. It's an energy pool, and the Ayurvedics, or the Middle Eastern Indian practices, Ayurveda, uses these energy pools to describe and to get information across, because at the end of the day, energy isn't physical. It has emotions and frequencies, and we just use this terminology to help describe something so undescribable. The Asians use meridians. So if you've ever gone to an acupuncturist, they're aligning the needles on the meridian lines, which is their energy school or diagram or setup, however you want to say it, system. So I'm not as studied on the meridians. I do love the study. I just haven't delved in quite this lifetime yet. I do, however, practice and work directly with the chakras. So we'll talk about those a little bit more. The center of the head is the third eye. It's a dark blue associated with your sight and your feeling and your empathy and your clairvoyance. Throat chakra, baby blue, spinning wheel of light, associated with communications. Center of the chest is green, spinning wheel of light. Heart chakra represents love, connectivity. Center of the stomach is the solar plexus. It is a very powerful chakra, and I'm hard-pressed to not touch on it when I do sessions because it holds our self-image, our self-security, and our self-confidence. And as humans, we're riddled with it. So I often just brush over this particular chakra, whether they need it or not. 9 times out of 10, they need it, including myself. So just focusing in, we can do a little energy work here. It's very easy. It's not some remote esoteric knowing. You simply see in your mind's eye a spinning wheel of light in the center of your stomach, yellow, spinning wheel of light, beautifully circled, beautifully shaped, beautifully spinning at a nice pace. You've just done energy work. Simply having that thought or image in your head, or just hearing me say it and letting your mind wander, you have given energy to your solar plexus, and let's pull it out and say, hey, I want to put energy toward every living being on the planet's solar plexus. Hey, why not? Energy is not limited. There's enough to go around. You can spread it around. It's free. It's a thought. Going down into the sacral chakra at the belly button, an orange spinning wheel of light has everything to do with passion and creativity. So I'm going to give that one a spin just because I like that particular color. It's my favorite orange, and I live off passion. So I'm imagining a lot of the people listening do. So let's just put a little energy toward our orange sacral chakra at the belly button, beautiful spinning wheel of light. Then we're going to drop down to the root chakra, sits at the base of your spine, and it's red. Has everything to do with grounding and family, your structure, the beginnings, the roots. And if you're feeling anxious, this is absolutely the chakra to focus on. It'll help ground you out. It will help bring you out of your head chakras. It will dispense the energy a little bit more. So who doesn't deal with anxiety? We all do. So when the anxiety comes in, you can battle it or bolster it or alchemize it by focusing in on your lower red chakra and breathing. It's simple, but it's very effective. Those are the chakras, the main ones, the 7 ones.
Whoa. And so that's our energy body. And I mean, that's relative to our energy body, which is part of our overall health. Mm-hmm. And I like the way you connected it to different, like, oh, this is anxiety, this is communication, passion, things like that, where we have issues in certain areas. We go and we do energy work. And it's just visualizing and imagination.
Yeah.
And, okay, so that's not important, but it is, because what you believe tends to be real, and it affects reality, kind of. Like if I have low self-confidence, it's based in some self-belief, right? It's not a physical thing. It's just something I keep telling myself, something negative, and I believe it. So I can just change that.
Yep, you could focus on some chakras. It's a nice beginning place. If you get into the chakras, you're going to find yourself in deep meditation, contemplating the universe. Where did we come from? It's great. It's a good place. It's a good wormhole.
I was thinking, as school begins for me tomorrow, and then we can jump into some callers. I was thinking school starts tomorrow, and I was like, oh my God, stress, nervous, worry, because it's going to be a long semester and a lot of hard work. But I was feeling that way when last semester ended, and as I was going to vacation, I was like, oh my God, I only have a month and a half. Like, really enjoy your vacation. But I read this thing, and it said, instead of thinking like that, think about, what if everything works out okay? What if I accomplish all my goals? And as I thought about that, I felt better. So that's alchemy, right? Just changing a thought, changing the worry into a curiosity or a positive consideration, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So, hey, what if it does work out? People are worried, what if I never find love? Well, what if you do find it? Then what are you going to do? How great would that be? It would be great. And I hope
talk about that. Oh, sorry, interrupted.
No, that's it.
I was just going to say, I talk about that with my clients often. I coach a lot of women, and one thing that they're worried about often is love, and I'll spin it, and they'll be, what if I never find anyone? What if I, never fall in love? What if I never have kids? All the things that their heart's really wanting at that time. And I'll say, but what if he's going to be here in 6 months? Do you want to show up to your lifelong partnership the way you are right now? Are you wanting to transform for you first to, be your best self before you show up for your partnership or your new career or moving to that dream place? How do you want to feel when you get there? What can we do now to start working and taking action steps towards creating that future? Because if you go in with that mindset, oh, man, my love's going to be here in 8 months. I want to, get some things done. Then think about how many things you might accomplish by the time that 8 months goes by.
Yeah.
And you've replaced uncertainty with curiosity and patience. You've alchemized the energy, which is always going to manifest things for you want more quickly. Generally, it will manifest them more quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody texted me, and I'm texting them back, but I can't text and talk. Oh, yeah. All of that. And these things seem so small and simple, but these are the things that we have to do. It's like the little consistent efforts is what moves me forward. How cool would it be? And I don't know where I got this fantasy expectation from, but I would love it if things were just events. Hey, hi Jennie, I'm having problems with this. Bing, you're cured. Goodbye. And it's okay, that sounds good, but it may not work that way. You may have to do some actual little bits of work here and there to move it in that good direction. Am I right? I'm not the ego.
The ego wants it easy. The higher self wants to learn. So it's different dynamics, no doubt. And we'll just try to sit it in the middle where we take it as easy as we can. But yes, it takes diligence and determination. Those are it. It's the small things, like you said. For example, kindergarten seems basic, right? They go over the alphabet and sing the alphabet and take naps. No, it's the fundamental building blocks of how we learn in this culture, in this country. So it seems small and basic, but it's so very important, just like changing how you think, changing how you feel, alchemizing, working on it, knowing you can't switch it overnight, but just chiseling away at it best you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always practice and share with my clients too, or on our podcast, minimum for just simple human habit as we come down here to Earth School to learn and grow and go through all these things. It takes 14 to 21 days to change a habit. And permanent change isn't going to happen until there's like a belief. That's why I really love this positivity movement, even though, I do agree that, there's a lot of overconsumption and imbalances and things happening. I feel like, people aren't going to heal truly and love themselves until they think they're worthy of that and they believe that they are and they believe they can heal in the first place. So it takes a while and it's a process, just to open your mind up to being open to a new healing modality might take a couple of months before that sinks in, So it's important to be really patient with yourself and honor that devotion and patience and non-judgment while trying to transform is really important. And that, that 14 to 21 days of commitment can really help you along your path in changing that belief system, because it is not going to happen overnight. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we get these aha moments, as Oprah calls them, or these downloads, or these whoa, I totally just got it. And, and this gear will grind in and it's super exciting and those moments happen. But a lot of the times it's much more subtle and slow movement and growth until you get to those moments. So I just encourage everyone to be patient and understand that simply as humans, it's going to take 14 to 21 days to change that habit. So be patient with yourself and show up and be devoted and committed to the change that you're wanting to call in.
That's right. And let's get it started now, because 14 to 21 days, depending on how you look at it, it sounds like, oh, my God, that's forever. But you know what? It could have been 14 to 21 months or weeks or years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you probably spent that much time, on something else that may not even be serving you, but let's start today. So anyway, let's get some callers and let's get it started. Let's see what's going on with, I don't even know. I'm not going to be random. I'm just going to pick callers from the top to the bottom. So let's go. Here's the rules. The rules are we give 5 minutes to each caller. So caller, maximize your time by jumping right on and telling us what your name is and where you're calling from and what's your question or comment. And we don't have an awful bunch of calls. We may be able to get everybody in today. But as the phone lines continue to populate, sometimes we don't get everyone in. And in that event, if you feel like you have something that's super urgent or super private, you can contact these ladies off air, privately, and we'll give you that information, and you can get more in-depth private consultation readings, whatever they call it. And otherwise, we also offer VIP plan where you can go to everydaypsychicradio.com, click the VIP button. It costs about $10, and you can jump to the front of the line, and you can get extra care and extra time. So keep that in mind, everydaypsychicradio.com. You can just go visit that website and learn more about us and click like, because you like us. We know you do. I'm not even a psychic. So anyway, caller number 1, 708 area code. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's your question or comment?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. It's Michelle calling from Alberta, Canada.
Hey.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. So I guess I'm curious what you see coming for love. Please and thank you.
Mandy, do you want to start us off, or do you want me to go?
Sure. Let me take a look. I'm going to take a little look. I'm going to pull just a few tarot cards for you over the next couple of months. But I'm actually seeing your angels are coming in quickly, and they're showing me that you've actually done, are you single at the moment? Has it been a little while, or are you reconnecting?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been a long while.
It's been a long while, but you're ready, right? And you have you met this person yet?
I don't think
have
so,
you met
but you never know.
Okay, because the first card that I pulled was the Two of Cups, followed by the Medicine Wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm seeing and what they're showing me is that there is someone very close by, and that you've taken the time and the space, and you've done some healing, and your heart chakra is open and pretty ready to receiving. They're just showing, be a little patient right now. he's pretty close by, and Jennie might get a little more specific information on this. She's really great at that. But they're showing through me that they really want to confirm that they're proud of you. You've done a lot to be ready for this.
Mm-hmm.
Did you recently take some time to do some actual studying and learning of something?
Well, I think
you have
over the last 6 years, I've kind of gotten better at like figuring out what I want, what I don't want, all that fun stuff.
Okay, because they're showing you studied it like intensely, and you really decided like, okay, this is who I am. These are my boundaries. This is what I want to call in. This is what I don't want to call in, and they're really proud of you for that. Right now, they're saying take a little bit of a leap of faith. One of my favorite affirmations is, my perfect partner is coming at the perfect time for me. And they're saying in the meantime, while you're waiting, it is close by, to connect with music. That's one of your medicines. That's one of your soul medicines. It'll help you to be patient, to stay calibrated with yourself. But be open to receiving. Are you putting yourself out there at all yet, or just kind of being open if someone talks to you?
Oh, yes, I'm definitely out there. Online and all that fun stuff. Yep.
Good. Be patient, because I'm seeing someone pursuing you as well. So, and pretty near, like I want to say, within the next 3 months or so. So, just be patient and keep doing the good things you've been doing. And I'm pretty curious to see what Jennie's getting for you too.
After this, we'll just do one psychic per reader, just because we only have so much time. But yes, I'm going to add in a little bit there. Michelle, it does look like you're doing the work. Your spirit guides are also coming forward and patting you on the back, confetti. Looks like you've done some work, and this can be internal, it can be external, it can be both. But what they want to say is, you're the determiner of how much energy you put out there. So if you're putting the energy out there, it's simply a matter of time. So the best thing for your nerves and your mind and your body is to be excited for when this person or this potential person falls in. I'm not seeing a bunch of lights like right up close as far as someone that you've already met, but I am seeing lights around you, which is an indication that you're not far off. You're hot on the trail for that soulmate connection. And just to let you know, and your spirit guides are laughing, they're saying this is the easy part. Once you get into that committed soulmate relationship, that's when the real karma busting comes in, and the real soul searching and the real ego setting down. So not to detract you or to deter you, but just know this is when you go through this process of dating with ease and grace, it gets your nervous system ready to get into the good stuff with your potential lover there, and to use a lot of energy for that, because they're saying that takes more intricate work than kind of just fishing out there and putting the energy out there and hoping for someone to fall in. So you're hot on the trail. I don't get to tell you what other people's egos will and won't do, because we've got that free will, thank the goddess. But what they're saying is not long. You keep hitting that spot. It's a matter of literal time. So just kind of bring in some curiosity and excitement for this to happen, as opposed to, oh no, when is it gonna, or is it gonna, because that's very normal and human. But we appreciate you calling, Michelle from Canada, our neighbors to the north. You have a lovely day, and we'll be sending you some heart chakra energy to beef you up for when you do run into that potential soulmate.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thanks, Michelle. If I was going to read her, I would say your vibe is so light and bright and beautiful, and whoever doesn't recognize that and see that in you is a dum-dum.
Aww. That was fun for me to like pull the Two of Cups right on that first one after like feeling how open her heart was. I'm like, this is awesome.
She's ready for it.
Yeah, that was nice. So if you take time and you're patient and do the work, you do heal and reopen your heart eventually. So for the hurting heart out there, just hold the space.
I think one of the hold on, I got a message. Yeah, let's go on. Okay,
Keep doing the chat room.
Yeah, chat rooms. Yeah. What's the the new network is called Third Eye Political Radio. It's on Blog Talk Radio for the chatter Amish comedian. Yep, you can see it on Blog Talk Radio. It's already set up and it begins tonight. Something else I was going to say, but I don't remember, so let's just go on to the next caller. Oh, no. What I was thinking is, like, I know a lot of people, and they are like, looking for a relationship. And, well, I know mostly guys because my girlfriend's super oppressive. And so I know a lot of guys. I'm not and it's like, you want to meet somebody, but they don't. The big hang up is they don't want to actually go through the process of meeting somebody, because it involves, potentially, being turned down or, or not, or yeah, just being turned down or not rejected, not accepted. So that's a tough one. I don't know how you can, play the game without playing the game, but that's what it seems like a lot of people want to do.
I talk about this all the time with clients. It's hard, and I'm always encouraging people if I'm dating myself or if I'm encouraging one of my, guiding one of my clients through it because it comes up a lot, I'm like, just show up and be your most authentic self. Your partner and your people and your soulmate friends and your soulmate in this lifetime, like they're out there and they're going to find you because you're being your most authentic self. And it's going to happen at the most amazing random time because you're doing something you enjoy most likely, or, there's something serendipitous happening there. And so when people go on dates for the first time, like if you're listening right now and you're getting ready to like go on a date soon or you're in that online dating world, just show up and be you and be respectful and honorable and say, I'm a human showing up to see another human and I'm just like witnessing who you are. Because when we show up at dates, we often show up with a whole list of judgments and, oh, I can't date that guy. And, oh my God, he didn't, cut his hair this way or this or that. And there's so many things we focus on that we already put in as boundaries and constructs. So I just encourage everyone to shift their perspective in the dating world and just, if you're going to go on a date, just be you and show up and spend time with another human and speak your truth at the end. If you're like, hey, I really, had some great conversation with you, but I'm not feeling a romantic spark. I wish you the best on your journey. You're a great person. Like, good luck. It's so hard for people to say such simple words sometimes, but it seals up the energy. It doesn't leave people ghosted or feeling neglected, and it gives you a sense of empowerment. So those are my short little dating tips on that.
Yeah, ghosted. I love these new words. They're scary. Let's go ahead and let's get another caller, and in the interest of time, so that we can move faster, let's go one caller, like each of you take one caller, and then we can keep rolling through. Cool. I'm sure the listeners will appreciate that.
Jennie,
shout out
to
TM Spirit jumping in the chat room, and along with Amish Comedian. I want Amish Comedian to call in and tell us an Amish joke. That would probably be awesome. So let's go with 551. 551, what's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's your question or comment?
Letitia, calling from Connecticut.
Connecticut. Hi, what's your question or comment, Letitia?
I just wanted to know, where did you see my relationship with my current boyfriend going?
All right, Letitia, let's take a look here. Well, right away, I'm feeling like a heaviness around my mind. So what I'm going to simply do is just flush out the stress that's been sitting there, the worry. Worrying is a waste of time. We don't get to control how other people act or do. Now, you're currently in a relationship, it sounds like. Is this a relationship that's been going for a while or not so long?
I just started.
Okay. Let's take a closer look here because I was kind of picking up a couple different energies and I wanted to make sure I was getting the right one. What they're saying is, we would love to tell you that this is the one and you're all done working toward relationships. We just can't because other people's egos have free will. So we don't get to determine what the future is. We simply glance at the energy. And being that it's so early, they're saying we're looking at 50-50 now, 50% positivity, 50% maybe it's not the one. So that's how a lot of relationships work out. So they're saying, we see the connection, we see the interest. At this point, we can't tell you either way. We would just be guessing, and we don't really like to do that. So what we're saying is enjoy these next 2 months. Be true to yourself, like Mandy was saying. Enjoy this opportunity. Don't have huge expectations of if it will or if it won't. If you can get comfortable with this person and show them who you are, they're going to make decisions on if that's for them or not, and hopefully they're doing the same for you. So what I'm going to do is clear out your heart chakra, and I'm going to give it a spin because it looks like there's some sadness in that space. Again, it could be grief from a death of a loved one or death of a relationship. They're just having me get you prepared to kind of put on it's not really armor, but it's just an armor of self-love when we go into these new situations that we had zero clue how they'll turn out. Even as a psychic, I'm looking at 50-50 here. So what they're saying is enjoy this. The more you can alchemize the fear and the concern and the uncertainty into excitement, curiosity, and kind of just opening up to this person to see who they are and letting them see who you are, your opportunities are higher and higher. So what they're saying is the more you open up, the more possibilities are here. So use this time to learn and just know that if it doesn't work out, there's many more choices. So we're going to send you off with light and love. Letitia from Connecticut over there on the East Coast, just sending your heart chakra all kinds of energy. And I'm also going to sweep out your nervous system and your adrenals because your spirit guides are saying they're a little kicked. Again, hard pressed to be on the planet and not feel the pressures of it. So call in the future. We'll take a look at the energy. And as of now, you're the determiner if you want to be in this situation. You're the one in control as well. So enjoy the time. Get to know him. If that doesn't work out, know there's other choices. And again, sending out with heart energy around that heart chakra because it's been growing since I've been talking about it. So this is excellent. So I'm just sending some more. We appreciate you for calling and check us out every Sunday, noon Pacific Standard Time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday. We're here for 90 minutes to service you free healing, free emotional support, and free reading. Thank you.
And we appreciate you so much, Letitia from Connecticut. Thank you.
Thank you.
And moving right along.
It's always so what if at the beginning of relationships. It's really the time we start to show our ego and to see how we respond to each other's ego. And it's a wishy-washy time. And again, that will stir anybody's insecurity. So sending her some root chakra energy too.
Yeah, I mean, you'll find out. Like, you might think you're not insecure, get in a relationship, and then it's like, where's all this coming from? Like, relationships kind of shine lights on places. They give us opportunities to grow.
There you go.
Yeah, we don't have to judge ourselves. As a guy, it seems like insecurity, if I even think that I have it, I have to really act like I don't because it's not masculine, right? Or is that just some stuff that somebody told me I should disregard?
Disregard.
Agreed.
Okay. Yeah. It's not a flattering description or adjective that we want to use to describe ourselves. But, I mean, it is what it is. Knowing is half the battle, so we can get busy working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So let's get caller. Let's get going. We're doing good. We're going down the list. I don't know where we left off. These calls just keep popping in. Hold on. A caller from the chat room just said, pick me. So I'm going to go ahead and grab her. I'm looking. Yep, this is her. 760 area code. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What's your question or comment?
Hey, good afternoon. This is Moon Goddess. Thank you for taking my call.
Hi.
I appreciate it. Hi.
Hi, Moon Goddess.
Hi there. I just wanted to say I love the way I was able to really be present to what you were saying to the caller that was asking about relationships. I really love I really resonated with what came through for her. And and I think one of the reasons is because I'm going through that, I guess, going to a higher place with my own consciousness and with my own way of being able to bring things to me rather than feeling as if I'm on a constant treadmill. It's more about really putting myself in that energy as if it's already taking place, as if I've already stepped into it. So
yeah, not an easy thing. I'm so glad you're speaking about this. It's hard. It's hard to pair that action step with what we're manifesting and get those two things to click. What are some things that you do each day towards that? Are you taking any small action steps? I really like tapping. Are you familiar with tapping and doing affirmations at the same time?
You know what? I've tried tapping several times, and up until now, I have not resonated with it. It has not really been something where I felt I was in alignment. Now, having said that, I am about to, I looked at it again just recently, and I said, okay, I'm about to give it another try. Sometimes it has to do with where we are at. You know, it depends. We have to allow ourselves to meet ourselves exactly where we're at. So I accepted that it didn't resonate for me in the past, but I'm also accepting that I'm getting a little nudge again to try it again. So I'm like, okay, let's explore this again.
I encourage you to, and just be open to it, and let, your angel showed me very quickly, because that's something that, like we were talking about in the beginning of the show, it helps align your meridians, recalibrates all of your chakras, and it changes your belief system. So I like to tap, and there's a million YouTube videos. Go to YouTube, tapping exercises, and I pair it with my affirmations of what I want to call in. So right now, I might not have, the dream house I want, but I want to call it in. So I would do some tapping and say, I'm calling in my dream home. It's arriving for me soon. I have a happy, healthy, strong body. I'm worthy. All the things that I might not believe about myself now, I pair with tapping, do it once a day, set it and forget it, and it helps create the change. So your angels are showing for you, that a little bit of devotion and diligence is going to help you a lot right now. They're also showing that though you've been intuitive on this path for a long time, your intuition is actually really strengthening, and I pulled a few cards for you. One is the Divine Father, which is about co-creating, and they're showing you really don't underestimate yourself at this time. They're saying you're birthing a new age, you're pairing up what you need to do, you've been holding the space. When you feel like you're not doing enough or it's not connecting, go play, go dance, set it and forget it, and remember that right now you're getting ready to birth a new age. And they're showing that you do overthink the process, like so many of us amazing, earth keepers who came down here to help share this light. We want to do our best all the time, especially when it comes to our ascension path. And they're showing that, for you, you're doing the work, you're showing up, and it's about maybe just letting things unfold a little bit and trusting it's coming while pairing diligence. And they're funny. They keep showing the dance as a distraction too.
It's so true. It's so true. Oh my gosh, you definitely hit the nail right on the head. But you asked me about what I do in terms of and what I've I put it back on the list. In other words, I'm reinvigorating this whole idea that I have done from time to time, and that is gratitude. So gratitude for me is really about thank you for, and then going right into the description as if I'm living it. So thank you for whatever I'm bringing into my space, and claiming
thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. And we are big fans of the attitude of gratitude. And I hope, I encourage you to keep doing that, and all of our listeners to do that.
Great. And the one question I did have, if you don't mind me asking.
Sure.
May I ask? Okay. I am in a situation career-wise that the consciousness and I don't feel good in the environment. And is there anything that Spirit can share with me that could help neutralize because my nervous system is kind of like a little bit revved up about it.
Naturally so. Yeah, they're showing it's falling out of alignment, and it's okay. One of my it's supposed to be, because some of your other things are rising, but it is meeting your needs right now, so just hold your ground. They're showing practice shielding. Ask your angels to surround you in white and blue light and protect you when you go in or after, something feels, not so good or penetrating, because you're a highly sensitive empath, as well as daily maintenance. Then when you get home, light a little bit of sage, maybe soak your feet in some Epsom salt, put your hand on a tree for 5 minutes, do things to transmute that energy as you're transitioning out of this. And they're saying it's okay to allow it to fall away and acknowledge it, let it meet your needs right now, and then let the universe and your heart show you what the next path is going to be. And you're in that place of faith and trust, and they're showing this is part of your ascension, where you can fully let go and trust that the universe really does have your back, and release a little bit of the control of how this is going to go.
Thank you
Okay.
so much. I love that.
You're welcome. You are
Happy
so
New
welcome.
Year.
Happy New Year. Take care.
Thanks.
New
Bye-bye.
Year. I can't find the. Okay, there it is. Whew. I lost the whole switchboard. I couldn't figure out how to hang up. There we go. Thank you for calling in, Moon Goddess. Oh, I found this meme that I wanted to read because it was so cool. It said, and sometimes I find stuff and I share it because I want to be able to look back at it for me. It says, become so confident in who you are that no one's opinion, rejection, or behavior can rock you. And yeah, so it seems like if I can become confident in who I am, then that takes all the power out of that, potential to be rejected. It's like, oh, okay, well, they just didn't recognize who I was, or maybe they just weren't the one. It's not a personal, devaluation of me as a person. When, I say, hey, what's your name? I like your hair. And they say, go away, creep. It doesn't have to take that. I don't have to take it like, that's not about me. That's about them, right? Does that make sense?
They're having a rough day. They just got rear-ended yesterday and their car's ruined. Something. We never know what's going on with people. It's just good to kind of hear them and then either take something from it or just set it aside and say, okay, that's their issue. That's not my karma. Like they say on that meme, not my circus, not my monkeys.
Right.
People's opinions of you truly are not your business. It's like the truth, and your reaction to what their perception of you is basically how aware you are within yourself. And if you're like, oh, I walked down the street and I'm looking really good today, and some little girl was like, you're ugly and your dress is ugly and I hate you. And you're like, oh my God, this beautiful little child just told me this. This is horrible, And then you can say, oh, wait a minute, let me do a little spirit check with my higher self. Like, is this a fact or a feeling? Like, am I actually really like ugly and gross right now and ugly? Like, I don't think so. Actually, I really like my dress, and in my world, I feel great. So why am I going to let this person or thing or whatever happened, this comment, affect how I'm feeling in this moment? And that's the work. That's this work everyone talks about in the spiritual world here. And it's
the good stuff.
Yeah, that's the juice. It's choosing your actions. And it's not easy. We all get triggered all the time, Jennie.
Well, it's true. And, just because you know how to manage and have the tools to work with your ego doesn't mean you're not affected by it. The idea is just to be affected by it as little as possible. I don't care how awesome and spiritual and advanced and old soul you are. You will be triggered. The punch or the juice, like Mandy said, is to go ahead and alchemize that, not take everything so personal and not trigger on their trigger. Put water on their trigger. It's a better mechanism. It gets more done.
I dilute everything.
It also tells you, for me, it also says something about me too, because, the things that trigger me, everything doesn't trigger me. Somebody walked up to me and said, hey, you're a lesbian. Okay, that's not going to bother me. But if somebody says, hey, you have a big...
it about yourself.
Exactly. If they say I have a big nose, now I'm standing there feeling my nose and, taking out a tape measure because maybe I have some belief that I do have a big nose. So the things that trigger me, they tell me something about my own belief about myself. So I have to take a look at that. Does that make sense, or am I just way out there?
Well, that makes sense.
Half the time I'm just getting,
100%.
Because I hate when people say, you know what, you're so awesome. It's like, stop it. I know I am.
Like our
Thank
show
you.
Intro, like, I believe you're awesome. And you don't always. But you pulled a fast one there, mister. I caught it.
See? I have to keep it in check because I know, knowing how great I am, I have to keep the gate closed because it can just blow up everywhere. And it's not pretty. Okay.
2020, here I am.
So, did I give a shout out to? Yeah, I did. To TMC Spirit. I like her name, and she's been commenting. She really liked one of the answers earlier. She said that was a good answer, and I don't know, for some reason I think she might have a show on this Blog Talk Radio. Maybe she'll tell us more about herself in the chat room as the show progresses.
Yeah,
so let's grab another.
Yeah, come be
a show.
Yep, send me $3. I'll say your name one more time. So let's get this caller right here from 845. 845 area code. Name, location, and question or comment, please.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Yes.
Hello. Yes.
My name is Maria. I call from New York.
Calling from New York, Maria. What's your question?
Yes, the question is, somebody promised a job to my daughter, supposed to send a contract for work, but still I'm not get it yet. You think they're going to give her the job?
So you're saying that your daughter is applying for a job and got the job and has a contract with them? Or she's applying for that?
The lady promised the job to my daughter to send a contract. But still, they talk about it, still we not get it. They say soon I'm going to send them, but still we not get it. I don't know why.
Okay, let's take a look at contracts and your daughter, see what I can get out of this here.
Thank you
so
very
the very
much.
first card that pops up, the very first card that pops up is the Seven of Wands. It's a woman standing on a plateau with a wand. She is defending her rights. She's taking care of herself. She's stating her claim. So as long as your daughter is communicating with this person, that's all she can really do. I don't really see an actual response from this. I'm just seeing tarot cards. So what we see next is the Six of Pentacles, which is a balance of money. So I'm sure that she's needing money and wants money, at least, needs it. This card is showing this, but the very next card is the Justice card, which balances out. So if I had to say whether this woman is going to contact your daughter, I would say yes by the cards that are present. Now, can I tell you when or how or why? No, I'm not getting any of that information, especially only in the 5 minutes that we have here. But just taking a look at the tarot cards and taking a look at the energy, they're suggesting if you set the worry down, it will. If it's going to manifest, it will come in quicker. Now, I would say that the concern about this is where the real healing needs to happen, because whether or not we get jobs, contracts, get signed, whatever this is, the worry doesn't make it happen for us. It deters us. So if you want something to happen, switch the worry to wonderment. And again, I can't tell you what this woman's ego is going to do. The looks of the cards and the looks of the energy says that there will be a follow-through through this woman to your daughter with the contract. But it's very important to understand, and I love to say it on this show, any given moment, a human can change their mind. They've got free will. So from this angle, it looks like a go, and I'm getting green lights from my spirit guide, and I'm looking at the cards, and they're saying maybe the money's tight right now, but justice will be served because you actually pulled the Justice card for your daughter. Thank you, Maria, for calling. We appreciate you from New York. We'll be sending.
She's going to give it the contract? She's going to give it the job or not?
If I had to say yes or no, I would say it's a positive. It's going to go through. I would say yes. Now, again, what they said, the real lesson is, whether you get the job or not, is to go ahead and start alchemizing the worry. This worry is it's aging you, it's aging her, it's not good for the situation. So we don't have any control of what people do. I'm looking at it best I can. It looks like it's a go. Okay. We appreciate you, Maria, from New York. You take it easy, and we'll be sending all kinds of abundant energy, not only to you, but to your daughter too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah, she said, God bless you. Oh, that was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how cool is that? Like, when I went to go answer that call, I went into my accent, and it was like, okay, caller, yes, hello. And it was like, then she had an accent, too. I think that I'm something. I might be a linguistic call. What is that? Is that something?
Claire
linguistic. Yeah.
We're on something.
We are onto something.
I'm going to
she
try
said,
it.
God bless. It made me laugh and think of a trigger. In Colorado, where Jennie and I used to live, there's a restaurant that's dedicated to Johnny Cash, and they hand out God bless Johnny Cash stickers. And I have one on my Jeep, and it triggered my brother the other day. He's like, when are you going to take that thing off your car? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, the God bless your Johnny Cash sticker. I'm like, what's wrong with that? And he's like, well, Johnny Cash did a lot of wrong things. I'm like, so did you. So did I. Who hasn't? Like,
Johnny Cash is a god. Johnny
That's what she
Cash,
said.
he can do no wrong ultimately. And his wife proved it. He was kind of a douchebag, and she still married him, June. I love that show, Walk the Line.
So good. So it was pretty funny. So when Maria said God bless, it made me laugh because you were talking about triggers and made me think of my breath are doing that. So
Getting all bent.
a little laugh.
Getting a little bent about your bumper sticker. It's funny.
Like it's right about my plant for pollinators one. Like peace out, bro.
I was going to do my clairlinguistic thing again, and I was going into my country accent. And before I even said it, Mandy said Johnny Cash. So if this next caller has a deep southern drawl, I'm going to fall out of my chair. And
going to Vegas.
I'm going to start doing workshops. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So caller, you're next up on the hit list. Caller from 510. What's your name, location?
Tamika,
Hi.
California.
Tamika. Oh, man, there goes my career. From Cali.
Cali.
Hey, Tamika.
Hi.
What's going on?
I have a question. This has been going on for years, since I was a kid. It's just I'm more aware of it now because I'm an adult. But I keep getting energy pulls all day, nudges, pushes, brushes, almost like as if I'm about to, they're pushing me down or pushing me forward. I don't know what that's all about.
Okay. Does it feel, did it at first feel more like you were off balance, like growing up, or you kind of ignored it and you're like, oh, I kind of fell off balance or tripped again kind of thing, or does it feel like a shove?
No. It feels like nudges and pushes and shoves. That's what it feels like. Somebody's pushing me or pulling me or trying to get my attention or trying to let me know I just don't know. It's frustrating me because I don't know who it is. I don't know their name, and it's been going on for so long. It's just bothering me now. And it happens all day, every day.
Gotcha.
I'm going to help you with this one, Mandy, when you're done.
Okay, yeah. I was actually going to say I'm going to pass this on to Jennie, and the only things that they're showing me, though, is that you are incredibly gifted and that you need to perhaps consider putting up a shield a little bit and saying, hey, I'm interested in experiencing these gifts, but right now Spirit's running all over me and it's scaring me, and they're desperate to get to you. I'm getting the impression that these are maybe some ghosts or some stuck beings or things trying to get your attention, but other things you may want to communicate with too. But they are showing me you will be able to put a guard up around this, and you will be able to transmute this into something that's a bit of a gift. But I'm sure Jennie will be able to give you a lot more on it.
Okay.
This is
Thank
not her
you on
specialty.
that.
Okay.
Tamika, I'm going to start off with your mind, my mind, Drew's mind, and Mandy's mind, all following you to California. We're kind of circling you in your home, and I'm taking a look. I brought these guys with me because I don't like that they're touching you, okay? I've worked with ghosts for a long time. If we had it's very unnerving to me, and I don't like it, so we're going to do some work here. So if everyone can follow along, even the listeners, I need your help. This is a big one. This is energy in the non-physical that is a mid-range soul. It's more of a adolescent. It's going to be a trickster and want to try to get your energy. So what I'm doing is I'm surrounding your house with white light, if everyone follows along, and I'm flushing your cells out, and your spirit guides are saying this is karmic for her. She plays around in psychic works. Her lesson in this is to discern which entity she'd like to communicate with, and we'll go into that in a moment, and discern your strength. So on some level, they're messing with you because you're letting them. They're saying there's practices, just like a building of a muscle that you would gain to, so to speak, fight back. And now let me give you an example of this. So the energies are in your house and they're pushing you. You bring in your white light, just feel it, know it. Jesus is standing right next to you, whoever your favorite Messiah or guru is. Bring in that energy. It has a lot of power because it's personal to you, and flush them out. Know that good will always outbeat mid-range or evil. It does, it will. It's 99% of the universe is heart energy, so wrangle it. So this is you just standing your ground and saying, I'm bringing in my spirit guides. You can't stay here. You're bothering me. Your mid-range is all get out, and I don't play with basic bitches. And they're going to get real upset. they are going to trigger, and you're going to see their side. You're going to see their side, and you can just continue flushing them out because they're tricksters. They're mid-range. They're messing with you, but they don't have good intentions. So what this will take is saging, salt around the house. Any of these will work. You can do any or a combination of these things.
I put salt around the house, and I've saged already.
Then the strength is you calling the shots and demanding they leave and not stepping away from that, because they're saying this is where the karmic lesson comes in, is for you to stand your own ground.
But I've been going through this since I was a kid. So how am I?
Well,
I don't understand.
Well, this is what they're saying. Try something different. Try something new. Stand your ground and bring in more power than you ever have, because what they're saying is karma starts before you're born. You chose to come into this body. You chose to come through the womb. You chose to come in with the sensitivities you have. They're saying you've been psychic lots of times in past lives, and this is just simply a learning process. If you want to become more clear and more spiritual and more evolved, which I'm imagining you do, you work on this stuff. This isn't here just to badger you. It's a spiritual lesson to manage your spiritual skills. And you do that by wrangling them and managing them and making them yours, just like they're your kids. You don't just let your kids, I mean, you might, but you probably shouldn't let your kids run crazy and expect them to have good behavior. You wrangle and you manage and you put your foot down, and you do the same thing in the spiritual on some levels. So continue with that, and I would like to hear from you again. Follow us on the Alchemy Sisters. Follow us on Everyday Psychic. I'd love to be able to send you some energy regularly, simply because you are stepping into one of my favorite places, which is the awareness of your actual skill and the honing of it. It's very special. So just know this is part of the journey. It's been there since you were a kid. It's asking for a different remedy. It's asking for more or different energy toward it, because it's not going away. You can tell when you don't have to work on something for a while or anymore, because it goes away. So this is just really knocking at your door, literally, and literally knocking on you physically. So again, check us on the Alchemy Sisters. Mandy and I will be able to hold space for you. You're coming into a wonderful enlightenment, and you're learning one of the biggest karmic skills there is, which is discernment of things you can't see. It's hard to do. It takes lifetime. So we appreciate you, Tamika from California. We're just going to step out of your house energetically, since we were just there doing a little powwow, and we're back in our respected studios, and we appreciate you.
May I ask Tamika one more question before we go? Do we have time for that, Drew?
Heck no. Yes, go ahead.
Tamika, do you practice shielding already, and do you know what that is?
Yes, I do, but it doesn't work.
Okay.
I've tried
what
a lot of
things.
different things. Meditating.
What are you doing for shielding?
Salting, saging.
Okay. So I want you to add one more, and this is for our listeners too. This is if you're feeling physically attacked by energies or entities, just like Tamika is. If you're worried, if you have anxiety, anything, you can ask your angels to surround you in white and blue light and protect you. And if you really need extra help,
I pray for that every day too.
Good. Keep doing it. And then they're showing two, particularly call in some blue light and ask for Archangel Michael to come and help you. But the one thing your angels want you to know most that I wanted to pass is that even though this is happening, you are protected and you are safe, and it is going to be okay. And you are going to figure this out and take control over it. Okay?
Okay.
I see it too.
Thank
She'll
you.
wrangle this. She'll manage it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tamika.
They don't call it karma. They don't call it karma.
There was a question in the chat room asked, is there a lot of noise in her house, like TV and music on all the time, or traffic sounds? And I disconnected the call before I could ask it. But yeah, I wonder, is that relevant? Because that's how my house is, lots of noise. Does having a lot of noise and electronic devices on, does that contribute to attracting or mid-level?
It can, and then alcohol is another one, drug addiction, low frequencies, emotional vulnerability. A lot of things can bring in energies that we don't want there, including the house. We don't know the whole history of the house, but it looked like it was more, like she said, it's followed her. She's moved since she's a child, I'm imagining, and it just keeps showing up. So it's a part of her. It's in her space, as opposed to sometimes, like, remember the Poltergeist movie from 1980s? They get a haunted house and it comes to the TV and stuff. So I think there's something to that. There's some relevance to that poltergeist activity with the electronics. But the idea is just to clean your energy like you clean your body. Just kind of go ahead and have a regular routine of clearing the space.
That the chatter said that maybe they're trying to be more subtle, but she can't hear it because of all the noise around her. So now they're stepping it up, with the touch.
But the thing is, that's not how high vibratory spirit guides work. And the reason I know that is because those are the only ones I work with. I work with angelic, high vibratory, higher self energy. They don't touch me. They never have. You put your hands on someone, those are fighting words. They're not being heartful. And you can tell the difference between an old soul and a mid-range soul by their heart energy. An old soul would never put their hands on you unless it was a soothing feeling. And if it scared you, they'd back off. So, no, I don't like it when either aliens who visit touch my friends and clients, or ghosts or entities that are in a home. They shouldn't be touching you. If they're nice and non-trouble starting, they're just going to energetically be there, and you can get rid of them too.
Okay, so the next caller is from me. So I have this quick, I'll just do real quick. And then I have to do this commercial, and then we're going to speed through the last callers. So me, short story long, I have about another year and a half of school, and moved into a new place, got a teenager. My girlfriend doesn't live with me. So my life is in progress, and it's wonderful. But I have this feeling like, it's going to be better when this happens, when school is done. When my son is an adult and moved out on his own and is doing great, when my girlfriend and I eventually move in together. So it's almost like sometimes I feel like I'm holding my breath and just, trudging through to get to that finish line. And then sometimes I feel like, it's wonderful today. But those holding my breath times feel like the weight of the world is on me. And so do you see that some magical way that I can just teleport to the future and be happy? Or do I have to just keep doing this? I feel like one of those swimmers, the Olympic swimmers that swim underwater, and they pop their head up and get a breath, and they go back under the water and swim. What do you think about that? Can you relate? Is it crazy?
Yeah, I have some thoughts. Jennie, do you want to go first?
Go ahead. Start us off.
So Drew and I can be a little similar in certain spaces in our minds sometimes, because I know Drew because he's one of my friends. And, this I'll just be vulnerable and honest about. When I kind of go into those spaces, I'm in one of those transitional spaces myself right now. I'm taking care of my 85-year-old grandmother who's, not doing the best in starting transition, and my disabled uncle who has wet brain because he was a severe alcoholic and drank so much and had to, relearn everything. And then I have 4 dogs here, my mom, my brother, and we're all doing our best, and it's great. But I know these things are coming in the future for me. I know I'll have, my house one day and, my husband, and it's easy for me to say, when I'm out of here and whatever. But then I always like to play the what if game, and I go back, and I'm so for me, I'll play games what if, something happens and my mom passes away in 2 years, and this was my time to be present with her and, enjoy this, and, what if, my future husband and I haven't met him yet, but I'm going to have 50 years with him. And I go backwards, and I talk myself out of things really deeply, because I'm wait a minute, let me shift my perspective and see, because if I'm dwelling on the same perspective all the time and I'm not looking at it from a different angle, then it keeps me in that same funnel and doesn't help me to change my habit or my outlook. So I go a little dark, I go a little deep. Sometimes I envision them getting murdered or weird ass shit happening, and then I'm oh my God, and it pulls up my heartstrings, and I'm let me be grateful for this moment, let me pull myself back into presence, and here I am, this is me today, and this is where I'm divinely supposed to be too, because yes, we're supposed to work towards our goals, but there's also things unfolding for us that we can't imagine if we're open to receiving. So I say hold the space, talk some shit to yourself, get yourself back. If you need to really change it up and you're really having a down day, do something to physically change your energy. Go to do kickboxing on YouTube, or go for a walk, or do something to shift or tap. But that's a space I share with you, so I get that, and that's my recommendations for it.
Okay.
And remind me the question. I spaced out, and I was looking at something online. I'm so sorry.
Oh God, the chat room is The chat room is going off. They're telling me so much stuff, and I'm listening and reading. But the thing is that I feel like my life is it's like I'm on a journey, but I can only relax when I reach the destinations. And the destinations, I'm okay in the journey, but it seems like I'm just pretending to be okay in the journey. I'm really just holding my breath and pushing forward because eventually I'm going to reach the destination. Then I'll really be okay. So specifically with school, I'm going to graduate. One day me and my girl are going to live together. One day my son's going to be a man and out in the world doing okay. And it's like, you see what I'm saying? It's like I'll finally be able to breathe when these things are done.
But you
that's
won't,
crazy.
because I know you, and you're going to be driven and have a million more projects after that. You're going to want to start businesses and go into business maybe, or you're going to start your own practice. You're going to always have journeys and desired manifestations. That's the design of life, is to keep doing that. The important part is to enjoy the ride while you're in it, because once you reach that destination, it's a short-lived excitement, because then you're on to the next desire, especially people like you who are mover, shaker, manifester, and desirer of different things. So what your spirit guides are having me tell you is enjoy the ride, because it's a majority of the trip, and go ahead and enjoy the small little things that do manifest, because that's just congratulations for you, as well as it opens up some more space for you to put another manifestation on top, something different that you want, or steer you a little differently. So they're saying enjoy steering the ship, because that's a majority of the trip. And if you can keep reminding yourself, and I think keep reminding yourself of that, but I think that we get destination fatigue. We're just constantly looking at that horizon, and we never get to eat that carrot or apple that's been dangling in our face. Each thing that happens, whether it's to start a new podcast network or to start a new show, I'll be like, wow, I accomplished that. I don't have to eat the whole carrot, but that's a bite of carrot. And just feed yourself pieces of carrot, and then at the end you can have a whole carrot, and then again start after a new fruit, because that's the trip. Even what's her name, Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham, she talks about this. She's like, enjoy it while you're going, because that's where a lot of the life is. Once you get to the destination, it's short-lived. And of course, she's a fantastic channel, so I always take heed to what he, however you want to say it, says, channels. So just enjoy it, and enjoy the destination desires, like the ones that are way out there, like the graduating from college, your kids are grown and out of school. But then get little short goals too. That's helpful. It doesn't have to be a shit ton, but again, it can be starting a new show, or writing a little bit more, or do some short destination kickbacks. I think that will feed you a bit more too.
Yeah. I'm gonna record. I'm gonna play this back and listen to it again and again, so I can really,
Hypnosis.
really. Yeah. I'm gonna really make sure that I benefit from this. So as a person who is connecting the callers, I got a chance to be the caller. So you see how I did it? I listened. I told the truth. I asked a real question. I take the information. I'm gonna put it in effect. And not be self-defeating, because I can really do that. I can say, oh, well, I did that, and no, that's not going to work for me. And it's going to work, because it better work, because I'm determined. And I like the word, I like diligent. I don't know what it means, but it sounds like John Dillinger, who was a cool guy, I guess. I was referred to a book called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. I don't know how you say his name, but I hear it's a really good book. Yeah, and it's a good book about staying present.
Yep, he's big on that. I dig his work. He's very heartful. Either he's from Ireland or Scotland or the Celtic area, and I just love how he looks. He looks like a leprechaun, and he's adorable, and he speaks such wisdom, and he looks so young for his age. So what you see is like this young-looking leprechaun speaking like this old wisdomatic wizardry truth. It's pretty cool. I dig him.
Oh, I like Irish. I like the leprechaun name voices. Let's do this quick 1-minute commercial, and then this show has flown by. So let's do a fast commercial. This is only 40 seconds long. We'll be right back. This is just to tell you about hi Jennifer. Well, just to tell you about our other shows on this network, Heart Over Ego Radio. You can like us on Facebook. We come back and give you information on how to contact Jennie and Mandy off the air. We still have time for a few more callers, so stay right here. You are listening to the web's #1 choice in spiritual growth and development. This is Heart Over Ego Radio, a network of shows to provide you with healing and guidance to improve the quality of your life. Check us out on Sundays with the Everyday Psychic Show. Mondays is the Alchemy Sisters. Tuesdays, Radical Spirituality. Wednesdays is Know Thyself. Thursdays, Transcending Love. Fridays, Rain Radio. This is Heart Over Ego Radio. Check us out on the web at facebook.com and Blog Talk Radio. That's right, Blog Talk Radio. Once again, shout out to the chatters. They're chatting away, and you can join us in the chat room. Just go to blogtalkradio.com/Heart Over Ego Radio. Today's show is what it is, and you scroll to the bottom of the page. The chat room's there. You can ask questions, comments. You can be in the presence of these awesome people who are sharing great information. They're very gifted. They could be guests on our show. TMC Spirit, Amish comedian. Super knowledgeable. I'm digging them. And they don't even want to be plugged. Look at that. So anyway, back to what we're here for. Jennie McDaniel, Mandy Elam, also known as the Alchemy Sisters. Look at that. So the listeners who may not get a chance to connect with you ladies today, or who may have a desire to do more in-depth readings with you, how would they be able to contact you? Let's go with Mandy first. Or not. Let's go with Jennie
I'll go ahead
first.
And start. Yeah, I'm Jennie McDaniel, and you can reach me on Facebook at jennie.mcdaniel. I think it's Facebook 2 or something like that. And then, of course, you can email me at jennie.mcdaniel@gmail, JENNIE. I charge $50 an hour for our podcast listeners. That's a very discounted price. And, of course, you can get a half an hour, too. So reach out. You can email me. You can find me on Facebook, The Alchemy Sisters, or Everyday Psychic Radio. And, Mandy, how about you?
Yep, you can find me on Facebook, Mandy, Mandee, Elam, ELAM. You can also find me on our website, alchemyascensionacademy.com, on Facebook, /The Alchemy Sisters, and it would be an honor to hold space with any one of you. I also do hour-long and half-hour-long sessions.
And if you want to contact me, I'm very expensive. I'm like $7 million an hour. Never mind. Skip that. Let's go on to the next caller. Let's do this caller from the 111. I think they're calling from Skype or from a different country. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from, please?
Hi, this is Laura in New Jersey.
Oh, Laura in New Jersey.
Hi, Laura.
How is everybody? Hi, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Just want to know what you see for me, maybe making a move, if I'm going to move anytime soon, long distance or in the area where I currently live.
Mandy, do you want to start us off, or shall I?
You can go first this time.
Mm-hmm. Laura, thank you for calling from New Jersey. And what your spirit guides are being very direct about, they're coming in and actually using words. They're saying, if you want to relocate, absolutely, that's in your capability. That's more than in your capability. So really, I don't get to tell you if you move. I get to ask you anything that may be in the way of you not moving. That's the real healing. But if I had to just glance at it to see where your ego is going to take yourself in the next year, absolutely, I see you moving. Now, where? I don't know, because this will take research, and you'll have to go ahead and take a look at, different things, lodging expense, job possibility. But absolutely, your spirit guides are saying you may be surprised, but you may not be surprised. But they're showing you as a captain on a boat hundreds of times. Half of the time you're a man and half of the time you're a woman. So it's in your soul to travel. Whether you want to do it again this lifetime or not is up to you. But again, it's all up to you. Glancing at your ego now, I'd say absolutely you make a shift or a move, but you're the determiner of that. So if that's of interest in you, go ahead and start doing the research, doing the footwork, visiting, thinking about it, letting your mind open and kind of daydream. That's the beginning spaces of manifestation, the idea. Our minds are wicked powerful. So allow yourself to daydream and think and back it up with a bit of Googling of how much land taxes are, or can you afford a house in that area, or how much is an apartment, whatever you're looking for, wherever you're at. And so they're saying, yeah, yes, you will. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. And if you want to stay where you're at, that's okay. They're saying, you'd like the stir. Because again, they're kind of bringing that back, that past life where you were kind of digging on the travel and the sailing. So I would say I see a move, but you're going to be the determiner. You should call back and tell us when you do, and we'll take a look at the energy from there. We appreciate you. Laura from New Jersey, is there anything else you'd like to glance at? We have a minute here.
Well, I have a job. I'm expecting to hear about a job interview that I had a couple weeks ago. I hope to hear this week or next week. Just wondered if you pick up on that.
Let's take a look at that. Mm-hmm. Let's take a look. Well, what they're showing are pentacles, so that means finance, business, and dollar signs, and they're showing the calendar, and they're showing within a week. So this is really quick. So what they're saying is, yeah, it looks like you might get that one, but just to cover yourself, because again, we can't bank on anything. We can't tell you what everyone's ego is going to do. A thought change that day could change that person's mind of who they hire. Literally that easy of a switch could happen. So what they're saying is, it looks good, but go ahead and keep glancing at other jobs. You want to go ahead and cover your ass or back yourself up, however you want to say it. And that doesn't take much effort. You can just go ahead and look at Indeed or something like that. And that's just telling the universe that you put your eggs over here, but you're putting your eggs over here too, and you're being strategic. And that's what life is. It's being strategic and, of course, being heartful and listening to ourselves. But that one looks good. I'm getting green lights with the one that you're waiting on. But just for good measure, I'd go ahead and keep my eye out there with, see what's out there. Because even if you get this job, I can't guarantee you're going to absolutely love it. And if you don't, you might have something already manifesting to back you up in that space. So it looks good, Laura. We appreciate you for calling, and I'm sending all kinds of white light and abundance to manifest a potential move and to definitely nail down this job sooner than later.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Laura.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we have time for one more caller. Let's let Mandy pick. I'm going to throw out numbers. We have a 3, we have a 7, we have an 8, we have a 9, we have a 2, we have a 6, we have a 5.
7.
7.
Lucky number 7.
All right. Caller from 773, my home state of Illinois. But you never know because numbers transfer now. People could be in Alabama with that area code. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Jamel. I'm calling from Chicago.
Hey, that's definitely the hometown. Jamel from Chicago. What's your question or comment?
I was just calling to see what do you see for me in the love department for upcoming 2020?
2020 love department. Let's see. I'm just pulling you a couple cards real quick. What I'm showing is you taking like a little bit more time and space to yourself kind of over this winter season, finding a little bit of balance. They're showing like some things have thrown you off balance recently, and part of what you're doing over the next couple of months is like getting a bit of a routine back and finding your own balance. And they show you feeling a little lonely come like maybe March time and being patient. I pulled the 4 of Cups and the Temperance card to kind of keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then they're showing it's looking like maybe end of summer, anything can happen, anything can change, that there's a potential for a really nice relationship. And you might even meet this person when you're traveling or on a trip or doing something different, but they're showing you really taking some time to keep pouring some love into yourself, and that you are manifesting and attracting a really good, solid partner for you. I'm not sure how many relationships you've been through or how old you are, but they're showing this next one coming in being kind of a ringer and being pretty long term. So take your time and, hold the space for yourself and know that it's going to come.
Okay. Sounds good.
Appreciate you for calling, Jamel from Chicago. We're here every Sunday. Meaning Drew and I, Jennie, and every week we have a special reader. Today with Mandy Elam, the Other Alchemy Sisters, which is soon to launch Season 3, 1st of February. I think it falls on the 3rd of the month, that first Monday. And interchanging psychics each week. So it's Drew, myself, and an interchanging psychic. Next week we have Stacie Martin, and she's a tarot card reader and a psychic. So tune in every Sunday to get a little different flavor. We appreciate everyone listening. Drew, is there anything you'd like to say at the end here?
So two things. One, I am just having a blast in the chat room. If you have not chatted with us, you really owe it to yourself. It makes, being on hold, you get to listen to the show, so you're already having a treat. But the chatters today are excellent. Like, I met Amish comedian and TMC Spirit, and they both are really talented, and we're going to talk about, scheduling one or both of them as future guests because they seem pretty cool. And so wouldn't that be great? And also, my strategy is just, I don't know, wouldn't it be so cool if we could just forget the past failures? You know what I mean? My last relationship, it ended so terribly, and it would have been easy to just curl up into my little ball and just never jump in the ring and dance anymore. But I could just kind of take what I can take from that and then just let it float away downstream and just jump back in the game like I'd never been hurt before. Isn't there a saying that says that? Love like you've never been hurt, and, things like that. And just to have the courage. For me, it's about courage, courage with the jobs and the confidence that, hey, if this one doesn't work, the next one will. I'm going to find one. And the courage with the relationships. Hey, I met somebody, and hopefully they'll be cool. But if they don't, there'll be other people. And I'm just going to keep going. And because I'm on a mission, and I'm not going to let fear hold me back. Does that sound like a good approach? Because I think that's my 2020 mantra.
I think it sounds great. Beautiful plan, beautiful alchemy, shifting the dynamics, making it yours. I love it.
I love it too. I encourage all of our listeners to come up with maybe a mantra or a word for the year. It's something I started practicing a few years ago, and I love it, and it's worked really well for me. My first year it was peace, and it really helped kind of calm down all my inner conflict and step into a lot of anxiety relief. And this year it's strong. Everything in my life I want to be strong. So I like mantras and words and intentions.
Yeah. And I really appreciate the way that you guys gave me information that I can use, I can take a look at in order to improve my station, because this whole living, destination-based living, it's taxing. It kind of, it's like wearing out the tires on your car,
Like you said it, you're holding your breath. You're kind of waiting for something to land when the landing really only takes 2 seconds, because then you're on to the next destination. It's good to train yourself to really enjoy the ride. And, of course, those peaks of accomplishing something can't be beat. But, the ride's fun, too, especially if we change our dynamics and change our perspective and really start having appreciation. Sure, I'm not where I need to be, but look what I do have. Look what I've done. Look where I've moved.
Yeah, because that, otherwise it's like you hit this peak. I mean, you have this event and it's cool, but it's so short-lived because it's a moment and then the moment's gone. So now I'm chasing the next event. I'm chasing the next,
Chasing
award.
the dragon, they call it.
Yeah. Smoking crack. That's what some people call it.
It's the other name.
So it's been such a great pleasure to be here on Sunday today with you guys. Happy New Year. And I'm glad that Mandy was here. Mandy brought that fire energy that made this just flow so easy and smooth. It's like the show just started. I feel like Carol Burnett. The show just started, and now it's time to say so long.
So long.
Okay. So any last words from... We have 90 seconds. Any last words from Mandy?
Happy New Year. Be gentle on yourself, take things one step at a time. It's important when we're creating change to be forgiving on ourselves and also to be diligent and let ourselves practice and try new things and be open to receiving all good and do your best to just show up, be here, be in this earth school. If you're having a bad day, drop into something simple like senses. Like, what is this? What does this rose smell like to me? What does it taste like when I'm drinking water? What does rain feel like? Like, just drop into simple things that we actually came here to experience and try to do your best to come back to presence. Those are my little, New Year's thoughts today. And thank you both so much. It's always an honor to come on this show and play with you guys and hold space. And I just love it, and I love you both.
Thank you.
Peace. Whoops. Wait, stop. Hold.
I was just going to say, if anyone is interested in mine and Drew's show later tonight, 8 p.m., we have a comic from Atlanta coming on with us, and we are talking everything war and politics. It will be your alternative view. It will not be Fox News or MSNBC or anything of the nature. So if you are alternative in your views of the government and war, find us on Blog Talk Radio, Third Eye Political Radio. Thanks, everyone.
There will be cussing. Just warning you, because Bo is going to cuss. And if he doesn't, I will. All right, have a good day.
Bye.
Today's show